To many, the bear is the living symbol of untouched wildness, of pristine rivers and lakes and primeval forest. To others, the bear is a spiritual force capable of powers of healing and rebirth. A bear's human-like attributes allow people to feel a close kinship. Clearly, there is something about bears that stirs our emotions and stimulates our interest, especially those teeny tiny teddy bears, the cubs. Baby bear cubs, when not sleeping or eating, spend their time playing. Some Indian tribes refer to bears as their grandfathers, grandmothers, cousins, and brothers. Cubs will even play with cubs of a different race, with no thought of color or kind. A black bear cub plays with a grizzly cub as if they were each one's own siblings. Bear cubs, like human children, begin life completely innocent. During the act of growing up, both learn the ways of the adults. Later, when grown, these two cubs will not allow the other to within close proximity. In fact, one will kill the other if given the chance. Cubs are the real-life teddy bears. Children around the world have grown up with this favorite of childhood toys. The teddy bear came to be through quite an unusual event. It was the former American president, Theodore Roosevelt, while on a hunting trip, that refused to shoot a black bear that was tied to a tree. The public was so touched by his act of kindness, they stuffed a bear in his honor. The idea of the stuffed bear was so popular, everyone wanted one for their own. So the teddy bear, named after Teddy Roosevelt, was born. Wild roses grow on the fringes of mixed hardwood and conifer forest, where intermittent open areas exist. This type of habitat is prime black bear country, and the ripe rose hips are like sugar candy to a bear. If a bear has been eating rose hips, a hiker passing by would not have any difficulty knowing it. The black bear leaves a pretty good trail of evidence behind as he goes. Large piles of what looks like crushed berries are a sure sign a bear is in the area and feasting on the sweet berries of the wild rose. Don't forget to look up in the trees. Black bears are champion climbers. All bears are capable of climbing trees, but the black bear has special claws perfect for the job. The claws of the black bear are curved like hooks. The grizzly bear claws are straight, better designed for digging than climbing. What is the color of bears? Is a black bear black? What exactly is the color called grizzly? Are polar bears white? The truth is, bears come in many colors. A black bear isn't just black. They can vary from black to cinnamon, beige, white, and even blue. Probably the most dramatic color variation of the black bear is the Kermode bear. These bears are only found in very isolated areas of British Columbia and have a beautiful cream-colored coat, very much like the polar bear. Early fur traders bought these furs from native Indians, believing them to be polar bears. The Kermode bear can also be chestnut red, bright yellow, blue-gray, or even orange. Brown bear and grizzly bears also come in a wide range of color, from black to blonde and from red to blue. So why don't we just change the name of all these bears to Ursus americanus, which means American bear? Well, that would sure make things a whole lot simpler. And then at least if you are attacked out in the woods and you are asked what kind of bear was it, you can just tell the ranger that it was a bear. Yeah, a very big bear. Polar bears roam the frozen seas in the Arctic region surrounding the North Pole. Polar bears are on the constant prowl, and when they are not sleeping, they are in search of food, traveling as far as 2,000 miles in a year. which Arctic animal wears sunglasses and has webbed feet? Answer: the polar bear has a special third eyelid which protects its eyes from glare and snow blindness, and his toes are partially webbed, which makes the polar bear a world-class swimmer. The feet of the polar bear are also covered in fur, like snowshoes, which allow it to walk through the deep snow without sinking. Long ago, there was an old polar bear who carried a sealskin pack and walked over the frozen north. Once a hunter met the bear out on the frozen sea, and they decided to camp together. After supper, the hunter asked the bear what he kept in his pack. "Oh, nothing," the bear said. But the hunter could see the bag was full, and he wanted very much to know what treasures it held. So he sang beautiful, peaceful songs until the bear went to sleep. Then he opened the pack. All the winds were released and blew off around the world. The bear opened his eyes and looked at the hunter. "You should have believed me, for they can never be put back into the bag," the bear said. And they never have been. Bears are omnivores. That means they are both meat and plant eaters. The interior grizzly bear is mostly vegetarian. 75% of their diet is vegetable matter. The grizzly will take meat from other animals, like the wolf, instead of taking the chance of getting hurt while hunting an animal down. There is one thing the huge grizzly just cannot resist, and that is a ground squirrel. A bear must consume very large amounts of vegetation and insects to obtain enough calories to produce the fat needed to survive the winter. Even so, a bear will burn up to 2,000 precious calories chasing a squirrel, many times the food value of the squirrel itself. Whether cubs or adults, brown bears are the exact same type of bear as the grizzly. The only difference, the brown bear lives at the coast and feeds on salmon that migrate upstream to spawn. These bears reach enormous size, outweighing their counterparts of the interior by as much as 1,000 pounds. The brown bear has many styles of fishing. Some bears prefer to stand on the top of the falls and wait for a fish to jump into their mouth. The younger, less experienced ones will stand on two legs in deep water waiting for a fish to strike their legs and then reach down and grab it. Most of the cubs will learn a favorite style from its mother and pass those techniques on to their offspring. Others use a style called snorkeling. They look below the water surface with their eyes open and ears above the water so they can hear if anything is coming, like another bear. The bear shares its home with a variety of other wildlife. Some of them can be a real nuisance. A coyote defending a den site nearby harasses a grizzly by nipping at its heels. The coyote is sly and swift of foot, therefore able to outstep the bear. The bear and coyote kind of work together when it comes to hunting. Unfortunately, the coyote ends up on the short end of the deal. The bear watches for the coyote to take down prey for food. Once down, the bear comes along and takes the food from the coyote. Bears have also learned to watch the skies for ravens flying in circle. This lets the bear know that below there is some sort of food. These are the reasons why bears are called opportunistic hunters. The spring is the season of feast for bears. The elk and moose are bearing their young of the year. It is hard for some humans to understand or sometimes accept the seemingly vicious act of murder. This is nature, the natural way, the balance keeper. If prey animals were left to multiply without control, either by predator beast or human intervention, the population would quickly outgrow the home they live in, and the food they need would be gone. The herds would become ill. Many Indians believe our earth is merely a way station to a higher life. When a prey is killed, the body may die, but the soul moves onward. Mother Nature intended there to be balance. She designed the perfect mechanism to ensure that it worked. The predator. The buffalo was the essential element in Plains Indian culture. In times of famine, the Indians would pray to Mother Earth to release more souls to inhabit the bodies of the buffaloes and so bring food to the hungry people. When the first Europeans saw the Great Plains of North America, the buffalo numbered in untold millions. The lives and culture of the Plains Indians were closely linked to those great beasts. Then, in a short time, white hunters and settlers slaughtered the buffalo, which soon, unbelievably, verged on extinction. All the millions of bison were killed, except 24 mountain bison found in Yellowstone and a number of plains bison in private herds. Through the protection of the American government, the buffalo has had a fairly successful recovery. Who could ever have imagined that the same inexcusable act of slaughter could accrue again? It was in March of 1997. 1,000-plus bison were massacred as they migrated out of Yellowstone National Park. They were leaving the higher elevations because of deep snowfall in search of open grazing ground. The government could do nothing as ranchers from Montana shot the bison as they crossed the invisible boundary of the park onto land the ranchers say belonged to them. The bodies were loaded, heaped onto flatbed trucks, and hauled off to slaughterhouses. So few bison survived the shooting. If this is how we protect America's national heritage, how great is the future for the bear? The bison are to the bear what the bison were to the Indians. When the bison disappeared, so did the Native American tribes. Do bears dream?